But yeah, Jaden Ivey, riding for righteousness. That's what we're gonna call this one, riding for righteousness, right? But I have a question for y'all. Did he crash out for the Lord? Did Jaden Ivey crash out for the Lord, chat? For those who don't know, I'm about to get y'all abreast to the situation, and that's the question that we're going to answer today. Did he crash out for the Lord? But before we do, because we are touching sensitive subject matter, Classic got to protect himself, man. So let me put the content creator condom on. You know what I'm saying? The content condom. Here we go. The Classic Codes disclaimer. This live stream is for entertainment and commentary purposes only. All statements made are alleged, opinion-based, and a part of a public discussion. We are content creators reacting to publicly available information, not journalists or legal professionals. Nothing stated should be interpreted as factual claims or assertions of wrongdoing. Viewers' discretion is advised. All right. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect yourself out here in these streets, chat. You know what I'm saying? It get like that. But yeah, we got to see if he crashed out for the Lord or not, because it's a lot of people in this world who they feel like if somebody making millions of dollars, they shouldn't make any decisions whatsoever that could potentially compromise those millions of dollars. But we're going to get into a deeper discussion in one moment. We're going to listen to a few clips. This is the summary, chat. We're going to start with the summary of it all. Where we at? There we go.
Dollars and ruined. This man lost millions of dollars and ruined his life all in a span of 75 minutes. So Jaden Ivey went on Instagram Live for 75 minutes. By the time he was done, the Chicago Bulls waived him and his NBA career was over. But how and why? Jaden Ivey was the 5th overall pick in 2022. He was supposed to be Cade Cunningham's backcourt partner in Detroit. Last season, he was having a career year. 17 points a game, shooting 41% from 3. Then he broke his leg and everything changed. The Pistons traded him to Chicago back in February. He's only played in 4 games before getting shut down with a knee injury, and that's when he told reporters this.
I'm not the same player as I used to be. I'm not the Jay I used to be, but the OJ is dead. I'm alive in Christ.
Now, athletes talk about faith all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But then he started going at his own fans, calling them sinners, telling people that their prayers don't matter. Then yesterday, he went on Instagram Live for nearly an hour, alone in his car, and said the Pistons won't matter on Judgment Day.
The Pistons not gonna matter on Judgment Day.
He went after the NBA for celebrating Pride Month, calling it celebrating unrighteousness.
They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. Come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness.
Hours later, the Chicago Bulls waived him. Their reason was it was conduct detrimental to the team.
What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because I believe in the truth.
He's now an unrestricted free agent at 24 years old, and multiple analysts are saying that his NBA career could be over. This is a guy who admitted to dealing with depression this year. Whatever you think about what he said, this situation is clearly bigger than basketball. We're going to follow this situation closely, so make sure you're followed, because otherwise you may never see one of my videos on your feed again. This man lost millions of dollars and ruined his life all in a span of...
All right, so that's the summary, right? That's the summary of what happened. Jaden Ivey. Now, because we big on context here, I'm not going to leave y'all with that. We can't really have a conversation with just that, right? You got to hear all of what he was talking about. He got waived while he was in. Listen, I'm finna take y'all from the live stream he did in his car that was apparently on the way to the airport, because he did a live stream in his car. By the time he got to the airport, he found out he was waived. I'm going to give y'all the dialogue he gave us in the airport. Then I'm going to give y'all the dialogue he gave us on the plane. Y'all tell me if he crashed out for Christ. Here's Jaden in his car. Come on, chat. Y'all, hey, chat. Y'all know I ain't going to do no half-ass job now.
Oh, nigga, you know what's up. We kept the foul.
What we please. Do we not have free will to speak what we please? Don't you have free will to curse? To speak unrighteousness? Doesn't even the world make judgments on certain things? So how is it when the gospel is preached that people hate it?
that people don't want to hear it, and they think it's strange when someone preaches the gospel, the true gospel. The world can make statements. The world can proclaim unrighteousness. That the world can proclaim LGBTQ. They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month, to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How are they to say that, man, this man is crazy? To the Christian, you're making the wrong statements. How is it that you can tell the man that he can't speak the truth? Because the gospel says, go into all the world and preach the gospel to the whole creation. That's what Jesus said to his disciples. He said, go and preach the gospel to the whole creation. Don't we see in the world that people preach what they believe all the time? They hold their big signs up about LGBTQ. They hold their signs up about how abortion is right. So how is it that the Christian, it's a burden to preach the truth? That's because the devil is clearly working in these people to stop the truth. Why is it when the Christians preach in truth, the truth of the gospel, that people don't like it? It's because the Bible is true. They hate Jesus. They hate the one who made them, who gave them food on their plates. They hate Jesus Christ, the one who is merciful, the one who gives grace to the humble. That's the God that they hate. That's why they don't want to hear it. Because if they love God, they will hear his words. If they love God, they will come to the knowledge of truth. So people preach things all the time. It's the world we live in. People preach what they want to preach all the time. Many of y'all don't have joy. The Holy Spirit wants to give you joy. If you don't want to hear the gospel, you are free to leave. You're not bound. But every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus is Lord. So you will have no excuse on Judgment Day. If you don't believe, it's not going to matter for the Muslim, for the atheist. Everyone, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. Jesus can give eternal life to those who believe in him, to those who believe in his name.
So it says, John 15, if the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you.
Do we not have?
So, yeah, that was part of the 75-minute tirade. And I'm assuming, honestly, that's the part of it that ended up getting him waived for conduct detrimental to the team. I see what y'all saying in the chat. Let's tap in with the chat real quick. Y'all have a lot to say about this. Let's see what the chat talking about real quick. So, International Ken said he tapping in from Abu Dhabi today. International. N2D. Okay, y'all said, damn, you want out of my city. Damn, you want out of my city. I want him to show out for the critics. Shit, it's over with. It's over with, y'all. Let's see the silver. Hey, go ahead and do that. In too deep, get him gone. Let's see, too tight. Let's see, Racehead. What did he do? Yeah, we went through that. He said, let's get into it. We got that. So he forgot the NBA controlled by the government too. Yeah, he said. True. I'm not sure how to pronounce this properly, but Elbulus said he was saying negative stuff about the LGBTQ plus, and he got waived. Yeah, Ye said this Obama fault. Ian Too Deep said this is why Jordan didn't talk political or religion. Ken Smith said he stood on stance. Indeed. Racehead said, and as it goes, many are called, but few are chosen. The only way to be a part of these organizations is to organize the demonic. Some is to ignore the demonic. Some can't look away. Interesting. Too Tight said they don't like it when you woke. True, very true. Ken Smith said been standing on Christianity way before this, and all his interviews, post game, pre game, he been standing on his square. Let's see. Why crash out now though is the question, Ken. Why crash out now? You see what I'm saying? Because if he been standing on Christianity, he could have been said this. He could have said this in college and never had an NBA career at all. Why crash out today? And we're gonna get into a little bit of that too. Ye said he losing me. I'm with him, but I'm not at the same time. Yeah, it's a lot to it. I got mixed feelings too. He said he can keep all the Jesus ish concept. Okay. Let's see. Racehead said, just look at the NBA commissioner. Enough said. What that mean, Racehead? I already did a disclaimer. You could talk. Kira said, SMH. See, this is that Christian brainwashing that I am currently deconstructing from. Ooh, talk about that process. Talk about that process. Ken said he did. He crashed out before. He just never got caught. This was the crash out that got him caught. Okay. So I got mixed feelings about it. We're gonna go into more because he doubles down, right? That was the diatribe that he went on in the car that got him waived, right? So upon finding out he was waived, he gets to the airport, and prior to him getting on his flight, he doubles down on everything. You know what I'm saying? He really I ain't gonna say crashing out because I want y'all to tell me if he crashed out or not. But this is him when he gets to the airport and starts talking about this. I'm gonna reserve my commentary until we get through all of what he said. You know what I'm saying? Because then we can really open up the conversation with the chat. I'll probably drop the link too. This one of them interesting situations, right? It's a lot here. But this is him at the airport upon finding out that he's been waived. Let's go.
They said my conduct is detrimental to the team, right? Why didn't they just say we don't agree with his stance on LGBTQ? Why didn't they say that? Well, how is it conduct detrimental to the team? What did I do to the team? What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. Said good job, good shot. I said good job, good pass. Way to play, bro. Right? I said these things to my teammates. Was never detrimental to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because I believe in the truth. Because I know Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. How? How is my conduct detrimental to the team? Because of what I believe. Because of what the truth is.
Hey, how old is Jaden Ivey? 24? I think he's 24 years old. This is a prime example of somebody just not really knowing where they at. The reason why I say that is because he's asking rhetorical questions. Like, do you know where you at? Know where you at? Like when I'm at my job, it don't matter what job it is. Like me, I work overnight at McDonald's. They got me on the burgers, but 2 more weeks and I should be getting promoted to the drive-through window. Y'all make sure y'all you know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure y'all keep me in y'all prayers for that promotion and that upgrade to the drive-through window. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, little do y'all know, selling that chemical meat, allegedly, you know what I'm saying, you could check a bag. You know what I mean? So you feel me? Regardless, even when I had, worked in corporate America before I, you know what I'm saying, decided to go to Mickey D's route, it was a situation where it's like you realize that all this shit is a plantation. It's all a plantation. Some of it feels more old school and old fashioned plantation than others, but it's all a fucking plantation. If you don't work for yourself, it's a plantation. I don't care who you is. It's a plantation. And you got a role on your plantation. If you a manager and above, this how the hierarchy work for y'all that don't know. If you in a corporate infrastructure, right? You got the frontline employee, right? Then you have the supervisor. Supervisor manages a group of frontline employees. Then you have a manager. A manager manages a group of supervisors, right? Then you start having directors and shit. Directors manage the group of managers, right? Then you start going up to regional and VPs and so on and so forth. This is how hierarchy works, right? So it's all the plantation. Everybody just play a different role. The higher up the ladder you is, you just closer to being master. Yes, a boss. Yes, a boss. So like when niggas be talking about this job versus that job versus this job versus that job, it's all plantation shit. Even the NFL, they high paid plantation workers. We heard Jerry Jones say it. He was at the combine joking, or was he joking? The nigga said, what'd he say? 6'4", 200 something pounds, 13-inch dick. They still measuring niggas at the NFL combine like they trying to build Mandingo warriors and
Classic.
shit. You know what I'm saying? This is all alleged for content creation purposes and entertainment. I don't really feel this way. I'm just talking this shit. You know what I'm saying? Shock and awe. You know what I'm saying? But lucky for y'all, I ain't come with content creation to make friends and shit. So, you know, I could say what I want if I meant it, but it's all alleged. So look, Jaden Ivey, he's standing on his principles. He's standing on his ideologies. He's standing on his belief system. But many would say, why do it out loud? Why speak so vocally about it? And then why do it right now? Because, yeah, he been, you know, essentially he just Tim Tebow'd himself.
Classic.
He Tim Tebow'd himself. Tim Tebow could have been an NFL quarterback. He could have had a decent career. There's worse quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now. There's worse, right at this very second. Second string, shit, maybe even a starter or two.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? But you start peddling that Jesus, you showing, young man, that you don't know where you at. If you want to climb the ladder, that's why you see niggas tell other niggas in corporate environments that you got to play the game. That's why they say that dumb shit. You got to know how to play the game. That means understand where you at, move accordingly if you plan on climbing this ladder. You got to kind of, even though you know better, you got to appear to fall in line so you can advance yourself. And like, I forgot who said it in the chat, but some people don't look away. Some people don't want to play the game. You feel me? So I respect him standing on what his principles are, but you know, he probably could have caught a couple more years of NBA contracts, and probably could have caught a couple more millions before he decided to do all this.
Classic.
But I'm going to tell y'all what I really think this is. Let me show y'all what he said on the airplane first, and then I'm going to tell y'all what I really think this is. Let me see. All right, this is Jaden Ivey on the flight. So he's on the airplane. It looked like they haven't taken off yet. But you know how it is when people boarding the flight, man. There's people sitting all around him and shit like this, and he talking in his camera. So, I mean, clearly he hot. You know what I'm saying? But let's go.
That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered. And y'all believe he's a Christian. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13. Y'all think he's a Christian. But he cursing just like the world.
We are now almost ready to go, so please take your seats and your seatbelt.
Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He's friendship with the world. He don't know Jesus. And I pray he comes to the truth. That him and his family will be saved in Jesus' name. Because all that stuff is not going to matter on Judgment Day. All them rings he got. All them rings LeBron got. All them rings Michael Jordan got. That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered. And y'all believe he's a Christian. Y'all believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13. Y'all think he's a Christian. But he cursing just like the world.
We are now almost ready to go, so please take your seats and your seatbelt.
Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He's friendship with the world. He don't know Jesus. And I pray he comes to the truth. That him and his family will be saved in Jesus' name.
Hey, holla at me about this, Kevin. Kevin said he was also running his mouth about it nonstop to his teammates. Anyone who was around that in the workplace knows it gets old real quick. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I wonder where it's coming from, right? Because the guy has clearly always been rooted in Christianity, right? But why is he so holier than thou? He's going through a holier than thou phase. That is what I call it, for lack of a better term. It's almost like the phase that new believers or reborn Christians go through, where it's just everything is just, how you doing? Blessed and highly favored, brother. The blood of Jesus, it flows upon me today, and I just feel so grateful and gracious inside of Christ. Do you have Christ? Like when they go through that phase and they get to just overly doing too much, people are like, well, there's something wrong with that. That should be the norm. This, that, and that, bro. That's let's be all the way a stack. You know, y'all can feel how y'all want to feel. I respect how you believe, but that's it's a lot, right? It's a little imposing, and it starts to get and feel a little cult-ish. Classic. You know what I'm saying? It does in behavior. And so I understand where you're coming from, brother, but I just wanted you to expound on it and see if you meant the same thing that I'm, taking that as. But yeah, I do agree. Like the constant pushing of, like, sometimes you're just trying to have a regular day, bro. Like, I don't honestly, you know what I'm saying? Jesus not here right now. Like, y'all would say he is, but we can't see him. He not tangible. So it's us in the locker room. We getting ready for practice. And all you keep talking about is somebody that's literally invisible to us. You know what I'm saying? We got a game to get ready for. You want to keep talking about somebody who then came and went. Classic. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. It do begin to become a lot. So, if he was burning his teammates' ears up with it, probably got a couple complaints that got sent upstairs about him already anyway. Because teammates do be snitching in the league. Believe that. The players that got a little pool in the organization, they'll let niggas know who they feel is most disposable. Yeah. Ramon said, I think blind faith and faith is completely different. Faith is blind by definition. Faith, the definition of faith is having belief in what you cannot prove. So faith is blind by definition. And I think more believers need to know that so they can stop trying to prove God, because you're literally not supposed to be able to. Faith is y'all can look up the definition, not you, Ramon, but I'm saying in general, because there's other people listening that's not really talking in the chat. A lot of new people in here today. But faith is literally, the definition of it is believing in what you cannot prove. So when you try to prove God, you're literally operating outside of faith. But who am I? I just be reading. Ken Smith said, laughing my ass off. Ye said, can't even answer logical questions. Nope. Ramon said, dude, if you work at Mickey D's and you a owner, you too smart to be flipping burgers. I didn't say I was an owner, man. I said I'm on the fries and I'm trying to get upgraded to the drive-through window, bro. Don't job shame me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Too Tight said it's Too Tight said it's AI. Ramon said, look like they've been smoking on the plane. Yeah, he probably just didn't wipe his camera off, though. Racehead said, ask Mace why he left the game. Right. Thomas Daniel said, weirdos. Who, Tom? Talk to me. Who's weird? Kira said, it's clear that he's in the early stages of crisis. Yeah. I was just about to, I'm finna get to that. I'm glad you said that. I'm finna tap into that right now. I'm actually tell y'all, about myself. Ye said, how he a Christian questioning other niggas' Christian faith is the problem now. Absolutely. That's why people be, honestly, the way that he's practicing the level of judgment that he's exhibiting, and like even on his Twitter, as y'all saw in the summary that I played at the beginning, I could replay. It's a lot of people filing in, but like he said in his summary, in the summary video that I showed, they showed him going at his own fans on Twitter, calling people sinners and saying this and that. Like he on a rampage for Jesus now. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. Thank you for dropping the link to the tour. Y'all can see the details in the link right there. Dropped by In Too Deep. Conceptual Elegance said, I love this, brother, but it's gossip. What's gossip? I'm literally reporting right now, and I'm giving my perspective on things beyond just this individual situation. But if you think it's gossip, you're definitely welcome to explain, and I'll be dropping the link here just in a moment. So you can come up and have a conversation with me, you and anyone else. See, we can't judge everybody just because one person. Imagine if he was doing ignorant stuff and people judge black people everywhere. Yeah. Bumble said, hi, what's going on with it? Arrogance, gossip. Okay. Too Tight said, classic. Yep. Ken said, don't forget who his mom was and is. Young man not hurting for money at all. He stand up for cause. Yeah. I wonder if his decision making would be different if he wasn't in a middle class circumstance, right? Like if he didn't come from money, would he be standing so firm, or would he be quiet and get his bread? I wonder. We'll never know, but I wonder. That's a good point though, Ken. Thanks for pointing that out. In Too Deep said, first of all, He came at Black Jesus, Michael Jordan. Then he started talking about LeBron. Then he's talking about Steph Curry. No go. Yeah, it's bad for business. Ken Smith said change up. But he did that. He was talking about Steph after he knew he got waived. It's already over with. He said, shit, if I'm waived, then I might as well crash all the way out. Ken Smith said change up. He knows he's not going to be at the level that he wants, was that he could be due to some pressure of that injury. This could be a graceful bow out. That's what I think it is. I think the young man, I'm going to be honest, and Ken, that's my real cousin, y'all. So I'm going to be honest, at the lowest point of my life, like at a depressive state and shit like that, going through a holier than thou phase saved my life. It actually brought me back to myself. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, also going through that phase allowed me to learn significantly more deeply about the religion that I had been claiming that I was practicing my whole life due to the indoctrination of my parents and my grandparents, right? So I actually learned deeply about it by going through that phase, which is why I'm not a religious man to this day, which is why I tell y'all, the people who have truly, truly, truly deeply studied Christianity and the history of it, not just the book, the Bible, but the history of it, they most of the time end up being spiritual, which is fine too. We all believe in God, and that is what it is. But going through that phase actually saved my life. This seems like a brother who is in some sort of a depressive state, and he's, you know, most people I know who go through these phases normally coming out of rough patches. Seldom do I see somebody become a new believer who's just doing great. You know what I'm saying? Everything's fine. They're not depressed. They didn't lose their girl. They didn't lose their guy. They didn't, you know what I'm saying? They puppy didn't die. They bills on auto pay. And they just, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is perfectly fine in their life. And they just find Christ. I never see it. It's always somebody coming out of a hard time, coming out of a crisis, and they be feeling renewed.
Classic.
Look, however you end up at the altar, I guess it's good that you end up there instead of somewhere else, right? But I do agree that this is some form of a graceful bow out. He admitted out of his own mouth he'll never be the same player again. He don't think he'll ever be the same, this, that, and the third. And for somebody who's been working on something their whole life to feel like they've been stripped of it, it can send them into a depression. That's natural. I'm not going to shame them, not going to judge them for that.
I'm only going to do this once.
However, you know what I'm saying, the writing is on the wall. He's a little bit extreme with his Christianity. I believe the word that we would use for this is radical, right? It comes off as a bit radical. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm openly a person who, you know, being a spiritual person, I still respect the Bible. I still respect the Quran. I have both of them sitting next to me. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of useful text in there and a lot of useful knowledge and wisdom and ways that we can go and approach life. You know, I do. But in that text, it does specifically speak out against certain types of intermingling of human beings. It does. It does. And so if he's really, truly devoted to the practice of Christianity, then he's right to feel that way. He should not be in agreement with that behavior. Working for an organization that's in agreement with that behavior, though, it's almost inevitable. You know, I'm just going to keep it all the way a stack. You know, I don't think there's a corporation anywhere, you know what I'm saying, with over let's do this, because we don't want to include super small businesses. It may not apply, but I don't think there's a corporation anywhere in this country with over 200 employees where it ain't somebody in there chasing butt.
Classic.
So he gonna have to, at this point, the country, this part of the world has become so ingratiated in the acceptance of certain things. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Obama administration for 8 years of peddling them alphabets to the country.
I'm only gonna do this once.
You know what I'm saying? They pushed that shit so hard that it got to a point where we start being able to call ourselves giraffes and zebras if we want to.
Classic.
So, you know what I'm saying? If he's truly a Christian, he is actually supposed to be against these things. But what I'm saying is, I go back to saying this: you got to know where you at, young brother. You are in hell. This is Sodom and Gomorrah, gang. That's where you at, bro. So you ain't gonna get no money around here trying to stay away from people that's chasing butt.
Classic.
You ain't gonna get no money, folks. Somebody at every job, bro. You can't go to a Starbucks without somebody taking your order. You feel me?
Classic.
Straight up. And I'm not telling you to be okay with it. I'm just saying, shit, go. You still got to provide for yourself. You still got to survive out here in the world, nigga. Be quiet. Go get your money. What they doing in they, you know what I'm saying, bedrooms is fine. Just don't let nobody disrespect you, and it's all good, bro.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I think I'm gonna be like, I think masculine men should be what they call, because I don't believe it's what they call it. I'm not gonna say the term bromophobia. We gonna say it like that. Bromophobia. I believe truly masculine men should have some element of bromophobia. Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know any men who I consider to be truly masculine who have a close male friend that like dudes. I don't know no dudes like that. That have we tight like a motherfucker. And this dude, you know what I'm saying, be chasing tail. I don't know no dudes like that.
Classic.
And listen, and if I'm dead wrong, pardon my ignorance. I'm allowed to be wrong, but I don't know. I haven't seen no examples of that. Most dudes I know that's friends with dudes that like dudes, they kind of mess with dudes.
Classic.
They light, slick, curious and shit.
I'm
You
only
know what I'm
gonna do
saying?
this once.
Yeah, I don't know nobody like that. I'm not necessarily here to make people comfortable. I'm here to have real conversation. That's what we do. So yeah, I commend bro for standing on business, but he did blow the bag at the same time. He just moving like he don't know where he at. It is what it is, bro. We at where we at. It's already over with, bro. It's already over with.
Classic.
It's already over with. It's already over with, bro. Ain't nowhere to go. Ain't no corner to hide in this country to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. It is what it is. Let's see. Lavelle said, because the people running our government want us all to be a certain way when everyone don't think alike. Facts. In too deep, making faces. Let's see. Ramon said, wait, chasing what kind of butt? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You said it. Yes, sir. You heard me? Said chasing what? Yup. Said, Sonny, what up? 333, what's up, chat? Peeking in on break. Appreciate you. Too Tight said, say it again, bro. We cracking codes for sure. Ye said, hit the like button. Oh, yeah. Broderick said the NHL players came together and said they not having a Pride Month in their league because it's against their religious beliefs. You see, but I'm going to tell you something. That don't surprise me. You know why? Because I told y'all before, white folk tend to kind of practice Christianity a little different from black folks. Like white folks and black folks, in my opinion, and again, I could be dead wrong. I'm cool with somebody sharing a different perspective, but white folks and black folks don't be reading the Bible exactly the same.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? It's the reason why the Klan could be a Christian organization and you could be a black Christian. How do people that would love to see you dangling like a Christmas ornament, you know what I'm saying, also worship the same God as you?
Classic.
It's a question that you should find the answer to. I don't need the answer. I'm cool. But for those, for those that's in bed with that, you know what I'm saying, y'all got to figure that out. Racehead said depends on how close you are to the dark action. Many are propositioned and then crash out. I could see that. He did say, Jaden did say that he had been assaulted before. He said that he had been assaulted before, said it's something that he don't really talk about. You know what I'm saying? And that could be what you mean. You know what I'm saying? It could be a sore spot for him. No pun intended. Seriously. Time said classic. Tez and chat fam, have a blessed, productive Tuesday today. Stay consistent and healthy. For sure. What up, Time? Conceptual League. We don't need any bags as Christians. Not when it comes with compromise. I respect that. I agree. I agree too. Like that's why I'm the same way when it comes to content creation. Like if it's a bag that's attached to me having to suppress like how I talk or what I want to cover or whatever the case may be, you can keep that little bread. I'm gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? That be the thing though. You can't really. We taught to worship the bread though. You know. Like you have people in this world that say things like ain't no such thing as enough money. When there absolutely is. For one to have plenty, many have to go without. And that's true. We see it all over the world. Starvation, poverty, all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So there is a such thing as financial gluttony. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. So I'm with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Believers don't need bags. Shoot. You know what I'm saying? We don't know Jesus to be a working man, right? Or Yahshua, right? Because we know that historically, it is impossible for the name Jesus to have been on anyone at that point in time. So Yahshua, I believe, is who we would be referring to. But yeah, Racehead said he should have known what he signed up for. Yeah, you just got to know where you at. Sonny said $10. Oh yeah, Sonny with the super chat. Appreciate you, money.
Classic.
Look, Sonny ain't even sending with no message, baby. Here goes some love for you. I appreciate you, Sonny. Appreciate you a lot. Yes, Lord. Let's go.
Genius is my dad.
Classic.
Oh, we talk about money?
Get money. Let's talk about it.
My money look different now. When I talk about 50,
Used to be $50.
I'm talking about 50,000. Gotta move a little different.
Yeah.
My maneuvers is in it now.
Classic.
Oh yeah. Gratitude, Sonny. Let me see. I told y'all I'm gonna play some music. We're gonna rock out for a little bit on this show too. At the end, we're gonna listen to like 4-5 songs. Time said, I love the fact that I was different, brothers. No time. Let's see. I love the fact that I was different. Brothers, no time. Where you going today, bro? Classic. Fire, no man should ask another man where they going. My pops don't even ask me where I'm going. Nah, I agree. Too Tight said, big facts, fourth quarter. What you doing, bro? Hey, we ain't doing that though. Ramon, but it makes sense that the NHL, like, they mostly white, you know what I'm saying? And same thing with country music. Like the country music scene is even though we know, black folks, I guess, started country and all that, we gotta say that because somebody gonna get mad at me if I don't. But it's predominantly a white music space at this point in time. And they real big on their Christianity over on that side, bro. You can find way more country music singing something along the lines of some level of righteousness than you are going to find a bunch of country music talking about some low vibrational dark frequency stuff. So I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense that translates into the NHL taking a united stand against certain things. That's the issue with Jaden Ivey taking his stand. Ain't nobody with him. You taking a stand alone. You the first one over the hill. You going to catch all the arrows. Ramon said, hey, he right. It's a reason why black church and white churches exist. Absolutely. They're not reading it the same. Lavelle said, I salute, bro, but the NFL and NBA have Pride Month. I know folks and vibing with it, but them folks trying not to be sued. You say, folks ain't vibing with it, but them folks trying not to be sued. Ken laughing. What you laughing at, gang? Let me see. In Too Deep said, money. Yeah. Racehead said, did he go to No, I did. Too Tight said, Rain. What up? Conversation with Soft Rain in the building, y'all. She done dropped in, y'all. Everybody 333 for Rain. The RSC's first lady. And International Scope said he wouldn't have to celebrate Pride Month because the Bulls aren't going to be playing around the time that the Pride takes place. I mean, I think it's a little deeper than that for him right now. You know that? I don't know, Scope, if you ever been around somebody in a holier than thou phase. It's extreme, G. The best people to hang with is females. We used to really go to the movies and to the roller rinks. I'd rather pay for a couple girls getting into a movie or a roller rink than two dudes. That's a fact, Time. I'm with you on that, Time. Classic isn't up next. He's already here. Say that, Time. Say
Classic.
that. I have officially arrived. The Classic Code Sports channel has reached 100 subscribers too. Appreciate y'all for that. We on the road to the 1K. Hawkins Hero said he pretty much quit if he spoke out about Pride celebration game, just like speaking out against police brutality if you are an officer. Facts. Hey, you ain't said nothing wrong. He pretty much quit.
Classic.
Bro made a retirement statement on God. Yeah, you ain't lying. Lavelle said, Classic, I like your channel, fam. You're not biased and you keep it 1,000 and straight down the middle. Salute. For sure. I appreciate that, Lavelle. I pride myself on being objective. That's one of the best compliments I could get, bro. Appreciate
Classic.
it. Real talk. Let's see. Soft Rain said, hey, Too Tight. Soft Rain said, hey, RSC family. Sunny smiling with the heart. In Too Deep 333. Racehead said, we are talking about money for sure. The corporate power structure of these organizations worship. Hey, you said it. I'm just reading the chat. International Sco said the best rapper alive. I appreciate it, Sco, and I agree with you. Too Tight said 333. Glad to be at your acquaintance, Rain. Yes, Lord. Say that. In Too Deep dropping all the links so y'all can get acclimated to my channels. Make sure y'all click the links in the chat. So yeah, I'm gonna play the summary that we started this all with to recap the whole thing of the Jaden Ivey situation. Before we open up for conversation, I'll drop the link for a little bit, and we'll see if anybody want to come up and chat with me, or we could do a little bit of Q&A. I got a few minutes before the Tears Down finna get rolling. The Tears Down will be rolling this afternoon, right after me. I came on early for y'all today. Had to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta You know what I'm saying? Change your route to the house. You feel me? So we here a little early. So yeah, Ye said, why these likes ain't moving? Yeah, you got to hit the like button, man. It's a touchy subject too, Ye. So you probably got a lot of people listening with sensitive ears, man. It's touch and go. The whole religious concept, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be tiptoeing and tap dancing around that. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. Let me see. But yeah, here go the whole the all-encompassing video of the Jaden Ivey situation and how he ended up getting waived in 75 minutes of talking. Blew millions of dollars in an hour and 15 minutes. Let's get it.
75 minutes. So Jaden, this man lost millions of dollars and ruined his life all in a span of 75 minutes. So Jaden Ivey went on Instagram Live for 75 minutes. And by the time he was done, the Chicago Bulls waived him and his NBA career was over. But how and why? Jaden Ivey was the 5th overall pick in 2022. He was supposed to be Cade Cunningham's backcourt partner in Detroit. Last season, he was having a career year, 17 points a game, shooting 41% from three. Then he broke his leg and everything changed. The Pistons traded him to Chicago back in February. He's only played in 4 games before getting shut down with a knee injury. And that's when he told reporters this.
I'm not the same player as I used to be. I'm not the Jay I used to be. But the old Jay is dead. I'm alive in Christ.
Now, athletes talk about faith all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. But then he started going at his own fans, calling them sinners, telling people that their prayers don't matter. Then yesterday, he went on Instagram Live for nearly an hour, alone in his car, and said the Pistons won't matter on Judgment Day.
The Pistons not gonna matter on Judgment Day.
He went after the NBA for celebrating Pride Month, calling it celebrating unrighteousness.
They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. Come join us for Pride Month to celebrate unrighteousness.
Hours later, the Chicago Bulls waived him. Their reason was it was conduct detrimental to the team.
What did I do to the players? I did nothing but practice with them, play with them, pass the ball to them, good teammate to them. So why is it that the NBA and the Chicago Bulls say that I'm detrimental to the team? How? Because I believe in the truth.
He's now an unrestricted free agent at 24 years old, and multiple analysts are saying that his NBA career could be over. This is a guy who admitted to dealing with depression this year. Whatever you think about what he said, this situation is clearly bigger than basketball.
What I tell y'all, a boy in a depression, that's when they be finding the Lord, when they get roughest. You know what I'm saying? International school. Why you think everybody go to jail, come home religious? Go to jail, come home, Allahu Akbar. You know what I'm saying? When life get the toughest, niggas find some type of God. Amen?
Classic.
They gonna find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I just dropped the link in the chat. Let me know if y'all can see it. I'm getting a weird message on my end. It said, I hope it went through. Let me see. International Skull said, but I mean, Jaden not hurting for money. So if he felt what he said was facts, and that's how he felt, all he's doing is standing on his beliefs. Nah, for sure, but not hurting for money. Like, okay, so look, his mama got bread. It's like he come from a family with some good money. He's made some decent money in the NBA, but like he still got he young, 24. He got to live the rest of his life. So it's like, is mommy gonna take care of you? Like, what you doing moving forward? Like, what's the game plan, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, you finna go become a pastor? That's lucrative.
Classic.
Being a pastor is lucrative. Maybe he should go preach. You start the church now while you got everybody looking at you. Straight up. Get that bag. You know what I'm saying? We got pastors out here getting jets from the congregation. I need a jet. Lock the doors. Lock the doors. Lock the doors. Yeah, we got all that going on so you can get a bag. Yeah, it's damn near religious extortion at this point. You know what I'm saying? Ramon said it's crazy. They said he had the same kind of bounce as Ja Morant, wasted talent. Yeah, I mean, all he had to do was develop his game. Even if he wasn't never going to be able to jump the same, just go get a crazy jump shot and lock in on defense. You can still stay in the league. He had a name. He was a high draft pick. He was going to be able to maneuver. He just didn't pivot well, you know. But like I tell y'all all the time, bro, life get hard for everybody in different ways. Life is difficult for every single person breathing in different ways. It ain't about the fact that life is hard for you. It's how you handle that shit.
Classic.
Everybody that got a glory story could have had a sob story. They chose different.
Classic.
You see what I'm saying? Like he broke Listen, he broke his leg and then talked his way out the NBA. I ripped my patella tendon off the bone. My kneecap was in my quadricep, and I'm back boxing in less than a year.
Classic.
So it's about how you built at the end of the day. And I know it sounds harsh or whatever the case may be, but everybody ain't cut the same. And the strong will survive and thrive. This is just, it's historically true. You know what I'm saying? Like, life's tough. We all got to put a helmet on, shoulder pads, mouth guard, bite down, strap up your chin strap and go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, or get stepped on. That's how this shit going out here. The wolves are the ones that do all the eating. Ye said he told the MF God don't hear they prayers. Who he feeling like? Yeah, he did. He said God don't hear your prayers if you a sinner. Ain't sinners supposed to be the ones that call on God for help?
Classic.
Ain't the sinners supposed to pray without ceasing? Thus saith the Lord.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Yeah, you supposed, yeah. That's crazy. I need book, chapter, and verse on sinners ain't supposed to, God don't hear sinners' prayers. Shoot, Jesus was on the cross next to a thief on his left hand and a thief at his right hand. And he prayed for both of them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where Jaden got that from. That's what I'm saying. He's just out here running around sounding like one of them radical new believers. Time said it's so crazy how you can talk about black men in this country, but you can't talk about a dog. You can't talk about a gay person, a transformer, and Trump has made it cool not to talk about the KKK and the Po Boys. Yeah. Time, with that being said, I think that's why it's important to do more building than destroying when you are a black man, right? So like Lil Dog, for example. A lot of black folks who got off the boat with Lil Dog, you know what I'm saying? Lil Dog Daniels, the people who got off the boat with him, you know, I think they started to lack appreciation for the way that he discussed the American black populace. You feel me? It's like he markets to them while tearing them down. It's very clever. It's very manipulative. It's very unique strategy. It works. What do they call it? Grifting. But at the same time, you know, some people, they get tired of hearing that shit because it's like, okay, you feel me? If we already getting that type of rhetoric from all different angles, we don't need it from you too, nigga.
Classic.
You see what I'm saying? Like, how about we do more building than destroying? That's what it end up being about. So yeah, you right though. You could talk about black people, but nothing else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of nasty. So yeah, like I like taking the weapon and aiming that motherfucker back. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Because it's like we'll look at the inner city black people as a whole, but we don't look at the trailer park white people as a whole. When we think about white people as a whole, we think about suburbia.
Classic.
But when we think about black people as a whole, we think about Mookie and Ray Ray. Nasty shit.
I'm only gonna do this once.
You know what I'm saying? So nah, we gonna change the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Ramon said, bruh seemed like he was battling something only God can heal with a good woman by his side. Hey, listen, I don't think he's gonna be able to hold down no relationship at the moment, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be real with you. It's gonna be tough. Ye said, at concept, is it worth it? Everything Christians believe not real. He put a question mark, so that's a question. Time said he better turn to becoming a vegan. What's that gonna do for him, Time? Conceptual said, well, yes, prayers are not binary. God hears them depending on your heart, on the phrasing. Not any random thing is a prayer. Oh, for real? You got book, chapter, and verse on that? On what consists of a prayer and what don't? You got some book, chapter, and verse on that? I'm not being a smart aleck either. Like, I really want to know. Ray's here said, bless up on the brother. However it go, I ain't mad at him. It takes courage to walk away and leave it all on the table. Oh yeah, he ain't nothing but the new Kaepernick. It's over.
Classic.
He the new Kaepernick on a smaller scale, because this probably won't be as big of a story as Kaepernick was. Kaepernick had played in the Super Bowl. Jaden Ivey was still finding footing, in my opinion. Soft Rain said it's in there on the landscape. Okay. What's in there? Ye said, so God decide when he hear people prayers. Yeah, I can answer that one. Yeah, he pick and choose, because when I was praying for that shit I was praying for that God never answered about, that's why I turned up on him. That's why I need my one with Jesus right now on TT. I need my one. You know what I'm saying?
Classic.
With white Jesus, I prayed to that nigga 40 days and 40 nights trying to get some shit fixed that was beyond my control, right? Because they say when it's beyond your control, what you supposed to do, chat? Let go and let God, right? I prayed without ceasing. There's scripture that says pray without ceasing. That means you could pray unlimited. Nigga, I prayed unlimited on my mama. What? Nigga, no regard, no response. No reason for why, nigga, no nothing. So I turned up. I told Jesus, hey, folk, you said you was coming back. When you get down here, I need my one.
Classic.
And that's just how it's going, folk. And I ain't letting it go either. It's like that. Because I followed all your instructions. And that shit did not work on God. Y'all ever do everything right in the recipe and then the cake still be fucked up?
Classic.
That's bad work. That's nasty work. You like, what I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? I followed it to a T. Yeah. In Too Deep said pulpit pimping. Oh yeah, they be raking the cash in. Time said, look at Marvin Sapp. He definitely locked his doors when his congregation wouldn't even help him donate money. What kind of church is that? It's extortion. South Rain said, hey, Sko. Talvish said, what's good, fam? All good, Talvish. How you feeling, brother? Racehead said, you'll see him in the Euro League and he'll get that bag back if he wants it. Yeah, he could go overseas. Because you got to realize there's a lot of very heavily religious countries that ain't got no problem with him standing on it. But as far as him feeling like he never going to be the same player again, he's still going to have to figure that out, though. Go play for Russia. They're a Christian society. Yeah, it's a bunch of places he can go play that ain't got no issue with him having an issue with it because they got an issue with it, too. He probably could check a bag, but he going to have to get that injury psychology. He got to get that situated. He might need to see a sports psychologist. Time said, classic, you got the best determination, discernment, discipline, and consistency, and you cannot do that eating poorly. I tell people every day, you don't eat avocado in a sweet potato every day. To eat an avocado and a sweet potato every day. That's not a bad idea. Eat an avocado and a sweet potato every day. It's a very healthy idea. Time coming in with the health advice today. Now you right though, Time. I do put some quality things into my body, and I got a good supplement stack. It keeps the engine running for sure. International Skull said all saints aren't saints. Racehead said God made sinners and uses them every day. Damn, that was deep. Too Tight said toughen up or shut up. Yeah, that's life. Ramon said little dog is a biological name. Hey, Time said, like Stephen A. Smith, I'm not going to say snitch today, but Cam Newton made me look at Jason Whitlock, look like I look at my pops. Jason Whitlock is not a bad guy at all. You said Jason Whitlock is not a bad guy. I don't know him as a person. I think his takes are ridiculous though. You know what I'm saying? I think he's an underhanded guy. Racehead said, why didn't we hear the same energy for Biden? Man, Biden been dead. You know, that came out in the foul.
Classic.
So shit, that wasn't even him. You see what I'm saying? Racehead said, pervert parks, look it up, diabolical. Wow. Time said, I seen little Mikey from Yarrow 62 Southside. The brother was changing his life. He was feeding homeless people. Rest in peace, little Mikey. Damn, rest in peace, Mikey. Racehead said Cap. Cap was a play for the regime from my perspective. Yeah, it was bad. Des Quinn said that's crazy. Time said becoming a vegan helps you to improve your weight. It improves your mindset, especially if you are meditating with that. And when you are eating superfood, your skin is clear. Your mind is more clear. That's a fact too. Time cooking. Y'all better, yeah, that's good. You cooking. Racehead said, put on the full armor. It's a structure of prayers. Give me some book, chapter, and verse. Lavelle said, Anton said he's coming to cancel his season tickets if bruh gets cut from the league. Ooh, don't nobody get no fuck, man.
Classic.
So Ted's Christian pastor locks his doors to a former NBA arena to the public. The public doesn't want a Christian radical in their league. Give to Caesar what is Caesar. You feel me? Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. In too deep. Welcome in the newbies. As you come in, please click the like button for sure. Celio said, "What up though? Some people can't some people can't handle the truth. Have a great day today. 333 for sure. What up, Celio? The racehead said they robbed Marvin in Detroit. Remember? Let me see. Time said we need a 4-party race for presidency. There is though. Just nobody votes green and nobody votes independent. There is a 4-party race. I voted green a couple times. I voted for myself one year. I just wrote myself in. Racehead said my partner's father eats a sweet potato every day, and that coffee and whiskey is good medicine. Coffee and whiskey is crazy though, especially on the regular time. Laughing. Lavelle laughing. Racehead said Ephesians 6:10 through 18, NIV, the armor of God. Thank you for book, chapter, and verse for those that's watching so they can reference. Thank you, Racehead. Appreciate you. But yeah, man, talk to me, chat. I dropped the link in the chat already. Let me drop it one more time if anybody want to come up and holler at me. But y'all tell me, man, is he crashing out for the Lord, or is he standing on principle? You know what I'm saying? Or is it one and the same? Time said, I know some people can handle the truth, but it's fact that they don't want to hear the truth so they can keep doing their stupid ish. Fair. Celio said, I'm voting green, not because it's my favorite color. I'm for the people. Yeah, the Green Party is actually interested in trying to fix things, which is why they will forever be suppressed. The Green Party ain't made a dent in the election.
Classic.
But they keep pulling up, though. They keep pulling up. But yeah, there technically already is a 4-party election. They just make y'all feel like y'all choosing between two. And again, that is the trick of the government, man. You know, master psychologists, the powers that be, so to speak. You hear people all the time say, you got to choose between the 2 parties. Nah, there's 4. It's independent, green, Democrat, Republican.
Classic.
And it doesn't necessarily go like that all the way down to your local levels and stuff. But at the federal level, there's definitely 4 parties. And I'm the person who stay away from the politics. But I know that for a fact because I voted otherwise.
Classic.
That's back when I, was feeling like they was counting votes. Racehead said, if God is on point, he'll bless our brother for his sacrifice. Stay tuned. Yeah, we got to see how it ages. But I think somebody called it out. I think it was you, Racehead. He can go overseas and get a bag, though. But he definitely got to get his game in order, though, because overseas, they not fucking around. He fuck around, go over there in the UAE and bump in the international kin and get 50.
Classic.
And hey, listen, in real life.
International.
You know what I'm saying? Go ask goddamn Glenn Robinson Jr. what it feel like.
Classic.
Time said he crashing out because he hurt himself. It's just like a woman saying she requires 50,000 and can't make a homemade bread. It don't know what yeast is to make the bread. Yeah, that's true. It'd be females having high requirements because they broke. Lavelle said, and bruh called out Steph, LeBron, and Jordan, SMH. Hey, listen. The most judgmental Christians be the ones that's unhappy with themselves or super duper new.
Classic.
And that's just what it is. But yeah, y'all. Jaden Ivey, man, crashing out for righteousness. You know what I'm saying? Crashing out for the Lord. Hallelujah. You feel me? I hope that brother stay deep into his word. I think that I think he hasn't gotten to the part of the Bible yet. You could tell he haven't read it cover to cover because he's actually being disobedient. The Bible actually tells you in multiple places to be a good slave, to be obedient to your master in spite of harsh punishment. The Bible actually instructs you of that. And you were supposed to be cooperating on your plantation, and you out here tweaking.
Classic.
Now, if you under the orders that Moses got, or if you under the orders, of the prophets, if God then sent you to step, then you're gonna have to do more than just say what you're saying in your car on your phone. You know what I'm saying? And I mean this in all seriousness, Jaden Ivey. If you have been called by the Lord to stand up for this, you're gonna have to do more than just rant on your phone in your car, because you just gave up a lot or what we appears to be a lot to most, right? As far as money, you just gave up a lot for your position. So if it's really about saving souls and all that, he gonna have to step a little harder than just ranting in the phone. I'm gonna be all the way a stack with you, because if you wasn't called to be a prophet, then that means you're supposed to be, obedient on the plantation, and that is scriptural.
Classic.
That is scriptural. Do not shoot the messenger. Go get in your text. It tells you in multiple places in the Bible to be a good slave, and it does say, in spite of harsh punishment.
Classic.
Slaves obey your master, is what it says. And you was on the NBA plantation making millions, and you couldn't follow the law.
Classic.
I'm just keeping it a stack. They don't like it. Hey, Ken laughing because he know I'm right. He know I'm right. Ellis said 100. Absolutely. That's in his word too. He being disobedient. On them plantations, when they gave them Sundays to read the New Testament, because that's really what the slave Bible was, mostly the New Testament, on them plantations on Sundays, where they gave them one day to for the Sabbath and to study the word. When they was discussing the New Testament, in that New Testament, it tells the slaves to obey their earthly masters in spite of cruel and harsh treatment.
Classic.
You was on the NBA plantation making millions, and you decided to be a rebellious slave. Now, the only reason you should be doing that is if you have been called like one of the great prophets. If you have been called, it's going to take way more than ranting on your phone. So we have to see how this ages. Because if he's stepping for the Lord, just the same way he calling his Twitter followers sinners, in the same way he casting stones, because it also say in your word, Jaden Ivey, young brother, young believer brother, it also say in your word, when Jesus was defending Mary Magdalene from the dudes in the town that was talking crazy because they knew she was from that brothel, Jesus said, let he who was out sin cast the first stone. So don't talk like you infallible, because we gonna judge you too. So if you really stepping and you've been called, we are gonna watch we seen your sacrifice. We have seen your sacrifice. So you appear to be serious. But let's see how you march from here. Are you gonna be evangelic? You finna travel around and spread the gospel? You gonna start a church? What's your next move? What's the next move? Because getting bread with one of these corporations, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's ugly. Because somebody in the corporation, and I'm talking about at a high level, they like butt.
Classic.
And you've been talking crazy about the people that like butt. So you're going to have to figure out how to be independent with the bread. You know what I'm saying? So, we're going to see how this ages, chat. They don't like objectivity. It hurt. You know what I'm saying? It hurt. Ken said update before the rant, the Bulls already had shut him down. So he already was done for the season anyway. And then he just went on ahead and jumped. No parachute. I'm a jump. Racehead said those who appreciate the update, Ken, for the information. Racehead said those who were suffering persecution for Christ's sake could be encouraged by the fact that the same mighty hand that let them suffer would one day lift them up. James 4:10. Yeah, oppression speech. That'll keep you oppressed. Lavelle said, do you think another team will pick him up overseas? Not in the NBA. His NBA, he Colin Kaepernick out the NBA. He cooked. Because the owner that picked him up, he would be defying, he would be bucking the system. And them owners don't want to play like that. You know what I'm saying? This shit get wicked now. Celio said, wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be eager to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath. Too Tight said, that's a whooping. Yeah. Ken Smith said, he said he on his wife. Oh my God. He said he hit his wife and was bound by corn, made these things publicly. Maybe he's a light bearer. Hopefully, we're gonna see how it age. Listen, you already know. I ain't judging him. I want to see how it go. KMS said, bro, what I don't know what you trying to say, KMS. Oh, what I come in on. Okay. What up, KMS? Oh, we having a talk today. You're gonna have to rewind this one. You know how it go. Racehead said, Peter 5:6-7, humble yourself, therefore, under God's almighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. See, that's that good talk that'll keep you on that plantation. Because you got to ask yourself when you read this scripture, right? Raise head, and this ain't nothing for you. I appreciate you dropping the book, chapter, and verse because that's what I honor. You know, if you tell me something that ain't book, chapter, and verse, you just telling me how you feel. So I appreciate you dropping it. But you got to realize if I'm a slave and I'm on a plantation and I read this gonna keep me waiting until I die for God's hand to the hand of suffering to lift up and me to come out of tyranny. Right, whole time while you doing all this suffering, your master is also reading the same Bible. And they're the hand of the tyranny. So how we both believe in the same person. Hey, what up, Ian Too Deep? How you feeling, brother?
I'm good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you clean. I'm
okay.
I'm well, bro. I'm grateful.
Good. I'm just gonna say something quick. As a person who got saved from being a heathen, I went through this process where I wanted to be holier than thou. Right. Mm-hmm. And I was telling everybody the message and the word. And I remember when I was doing that, I got pulled aside by the pastor. And I worked with him. He taught me how to do commercials, right? And he was like, he goes, "You're over here trying to tell people that probably been saved their whole entire life what to do, and you just in the faith." So I'm not going to knock the young man for being energetic about the Lord or whatever, more power to him. But he even said my mentor and, my spiritual growth, which like you, I've learned to read a little bit further than what most other people. And I use the Bible as a manual, and people get upset when I say that, but it is what it is. They can just be mad. But at the end of the day, I have a Proverbs thing that I do every morning, and I practice that because I understand two things. One, your faith is you and God. Second, I'm here to be a better person, not to change other people's minds.
Come on.
And so at the end of the day, if I say something that resonates with you and you say, hey, you know what, I want to learn something, cool, now we can fellowship. Yeah. But I'm not going to come to you and be like, hey, man, you're living wrong. You're living this way. And I'm a businessman first and foremost because I'm here to conduct business. I was put on this earth to do two things, reproduce and do good works. I don't want to reproduce, so I'm going to double time on the on the good works. So for him, you're dealing with the NBA, and I remember the 80s. I remember the 90s. I stopped watching once Jordan left. The reason why? I didn't like the way they were going. I didn't like the being able to move from one team to another team, crying and complaining. I remember the hard-nosed Pistons when they used to punch you while you jumping in the middle of the air, and they don't do that anymore. So at the end of the day, I could care less about it. But for him, he's making a very hard sacrifice. And I guarantee you 10 years from now, he's going to be like, damn, I don't know if I did the right thing. Because I did it myself. I lost $1 million bag and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, making a permanent decision on temporary feelings.
Trying to think I was holier than thou. And then when they check you about some stuff and they start reading from the scripture and you got a man who's saying it from his brain and I'm a guy that got to look at it, he's like, if you really know what you're talking about, you won't need those verses. You won't need to read from the book. You got it up here. So don't be trying to tell somebody if you ain't got the scriptures up here and you don't have the time walking in the walk, talking the talk. There's too many people out here that be thumping on the word but be the first one sinning as soon as you leave. So that's why I learned a valuable lesson in business. You can have religion. You can say whatever you want to say, but as soon as you say something, you better stand on it because as soon as somebody comes to check you and you got your pants down, that belt is coming and they're going to give you BTA all day. And then you're gonna look dumb and feel a certain way, and then you're gonna sit back and be like, you know what? Let me get into His Word. Let me get into this understanding. All right, let me start with Proverbs. Let me work with, you know, let me work on me, change me, fix me, do me first, and then worry about other people. So that's just my 2 cents.
No,
So
you good. I appreciate it too. I think that when people step like this, they got to realize that they're operating in the should. It's a lot of people that do that. It should
facts.
be this way. You're not gonna get nowhere with that. How is it? Let's maneuver based on how it is. Let's track the course based on the actual terrain, not how we think the terrain ought to be. Right? No,
Right.
what is it? Now let's chart our course. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that you can't, like you said something very important. You're not here to change nobody's mind, but also too, you got to understand there's this thing that where we come from, we call it a dead mission.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? In the military, they probably have a different term for it, but like it's essentially like, okay, like if you go on that mission, bro, like your odds are coming back. You feel me?
Yeah, right.
It's a dead mission. So it's like, bro, you went on a dead mission, but for what though? You know what I mean? For what though?
Right.
Like I even had to come to the realization, bro. Like during the Obama administration, as the country increasingly became more uncloseted, and then influenced over into being more abundantly sassy, because everybody wasn't in the closet. There wasn't this many people in the closet. Niggas didn't migrate it over to sassy. It is what it is. Propaganda, it works. Social engineering, it works. So it is what it is, right? So the country is officially more curious than ever. For
more open.
More
open.
I'm trying to use terms that ain't gonna get my you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
right.
The country is more flip wristed than it's ever been, right? So as a whole nation. So you at some point, whether you're a person that's okay with it or not okay with it, you gotta realize that it's just everywhere. It just is what it is. So I adjusted my own course, right? Like, all right, listen, I can't walk around snarling at people or feeling some type of way because this shit literally everywhere. It's just I just move like this. Just don't disrespect me. Just don't disrespect me. That's it. Just don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't present like a dude that want dudes. I ain't batting my eyes at no dude. I ain't gave you no inclination or no idea that you should come over here as a dude and try to talk to me like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that I would receive that as disrespect. Absolutely. Yeah. So
I feel you on that. I if I can interject on that.
Yeah.
We had a video in common that you just put out with 2K. And I told him about arguing with people.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you how my dad really told me. He said, don't argue in front of white folks. And the reason why is because they're gonna look at you differently. That's what he's doing right now. My dad would, I'm telling you right now, if my dad was alive right now and I pull some stunt like that, do you know he would be on the next flight with a belt? Do you understand me? I'm grown. I'm 50 years old. If he was still alive and I were to do that, he would literally bring out the belt and I'd get in the position because I respect it. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you, when you crash out like that and you embarrass, I'm just telling you where I came from. I'm Gen X. We weren't allowed that. This. I don't want to come down on this man because I don't know what he's going through. It sounds like he had something happen to him. If you ask me, I ain't gonna go there.
No, he said he did. He said he was abused young.
Something happened to him where it's weighing on his spirit and he's releasing that anger and that built up frustration. But we can all say we've had some kind of moment. But at the end of the day, my dad would have corrected that with a belt, BTA. I don't care what sparing the rod. Something in the Bible talks about sparing the rod on the child makes them rotten, right? If you don't do something of that sort. So for all case and purposes, if any young people are out there, you cannot take that shit back once it gets out in the open. This is the reason why you should check your mood, check your attitude, and meditate. It's talked about how meditation will change your chi, your outside in from the outside, or excuse me, from the inside out. You need to release that kind of negativity, and if you don't, you're going to do what he did. And not saying it's wrong or right. I'm just saying you want to be a diva, you go be a diva. But we talked about that crying, didn't we?
Yeah.
Then what did the lady say? They don't know how to respect a man who cries, right?
Yeah.
They ain't looking for it. Now, you're just giving out a whole crash out moment to where if you really wanted a spouse, she's gonna look at you like, you're gonna mess up the bag for the family. That's how I look at it. And I'm sorry, no offense to him, and I wish him well. I wish him good luck. I hope he gets help. I hope he gets the therapy, because I don't want him to be like the Beasley. Is it Beasley?
What Mike? Well, he got
Beasley.
Yeah, I mean, he have his mental health battles and things like that, but it's much different from Jaden Ivey, though.
I mean, we don't know. Yeah,
no,
I'm just saying.
As far as like him not being in the league, it wasn't like one particular thing he said or nothing. It was more so of like people not understanding him and then building a reputation off of their misunderstanding. So he had a negative reputation based on misunderstanding.
So Ivy didn't have none of that except for this outburst.
He just crashed out. Yeah.
But that's what I mean by the mental health side. That's what I'm going out as. As far as they might have differences in how it ended up, but the mental health is, where's the BTA?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where's your self BTA? Like, as soon as I feel something, I'm doing something wrong. Damn, the hair on the back of my head. Like, you know what my dad would have done to me right now if I would have, and then, those kind of healthy, I say a healthy fear is the reason why I'm pragmatic today. Like, I'm picture perfect when I need to be, but then sometimes when you make mistakes, I'm the worst critic on myself. But then, I've learned over time to trust in myself. If I make a mistake, I just need to slow down, take a deep breath, and go about your day. I think he didn't have no one to talk to, and he didn't have no one to talk to. He didn't like. That's why I like watching your shows. That's why I like with you and Uncle Plug. I like it with Souls. Like Tez, to me, I can't catch a lot of his stuff because it's earlier. It's conflicting with work. But when I do get a chance to watch it, he's kind of like where I'm at. Well, where I was at like 10 years ago. And I have you guys as a nucleus for me. And you guys taking that position from my dad that I could talk to. And I don't necessarily need that anymore as I used to, but you guys give me a little bit of piece of what he used to say to me. And this topic right here should be discussed. It should have a bigger understanding outside of just the culture, but just men. This is something we need to get on board with. Like, hey man, this is not the time nor the place. If you need someone to talk to, vent to us so we can say in council. Get in a group or fellowship in a council where you can talk to people and bust things off a board or busting, between each other. That way, when you go to speak, you can be more poignant about it. You don't have to be a rant. You don't have to use name. You don't use Jordan. You don't use LeBron. You don't use nobody big. You just talk about yourself. What are you not doing versus pointing the finger at everybody else? I don't agree.
Yeah, I think the impulsive decisions with the cell phone catch up to a lot of people at times, man, because you got to think about it. The same impulse he feel now, if he was in the league in the 90s, he wouldn't have had a Instagram live to jump on and say this stuff to the whole world at one time. He would have you see what I'm saying? So it's like it gives you too much access in the moments of vulnerability and weakness, and then you make an impulse decision and you find yourself on the outs. Because you're right, 10 years from now he might be like, it wasn't worth it, or he might feel like, you know what, everything happened for a reason. We have to see. We got to see how it unfolds. But this is interesting nonetheless, though. And for the people who feel like everything is a conspiracy, ask yourself why Tim Tebow. Why Kaepernick, why Jaden Ivey, you know, got excommunicado for standing so heavily on faith-based principle if these organizations don't have any wicked elements to them. Allegedly. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.